Hi love, this is Sela. Here's your letter for today. You made it here, and maybe that already took courage. Maybe your heart feels tired, heavy. Maybe there's a memory playing on repeat in the back of your mind. A moment that left you hurting, confused, or quietly grieving a version of yourself that felt safe before everything changed. But right now, in this moment, you don't need to be strong. You don't need to be okay. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. This space, this gentle space, is yours. Yours to rest, yours to breathe, yours to remember who you were before the pain, and who you're becoming, even through it. Tonight, I want to talk to you about something sacred, something powerful, something quietly life-changing. Forgiveness. Not the kind you force. Not the kind that tells you to just let it go when your heart is still bleeding. I want to talk to you about the kind of forgiveness that heals, that softens the edges of your soul, that frees you, not them. So, if your heart is sore, if you're carrying something too long, if you're holding on to a hurt that you wish you could finally put down, this is for you. Take a deep breath with me now. Inhale. And exhale slowly. This is your time, and we're going to walk through this gently, together. Have you ever noticed how heartbreak doesn't happen all at once? People think it's a single moment, the end of a relationship, a betrayal, a goodbye. But more often, heartbreak is a slow unraveling. It begins quietly. A look that lingers too long, a change in tone, a small silence that grows louder each day. You feel it, don't you? Even before it happens, your body knows, your chest tightens, your sleep becomes shallow. You start questioning things you never questioned before, and then it happens. The thing you were afraid of, they leave, they lie, they change. Or maybe they stay, but not in the way you need them to. And suddenly, the world you built with them, every shared laugh, every plan, every whispered dream, it begins to fall apart. Slowly, then all at once. There's no manual for that kind of pain. No instruction for how to breathe when your chest is full of shards. So, you cope, you survive, you pretend. You tell yourself you're fine. You smile in pictures. You reply I'm okay when someone asks. But at night, you still hear their voice. You replay that moment. You imagine what you could have said differently. That is the heartbreak no one sees. The silent grief, the invisible bruise, and it sits in your heart, like an unanswered question. Why did this happen to me? Was I not enough? Will I ever feel whole again? I want to pause here and tell you something. Not just with my words, but with my presence, with my love, with my soul. You are not broken. You are human. You are someone who has loved deeply, who has trusted, who has opened your heart, and that is brave. The world doesn't celebrate tenderness enough, but here, right now, we will. Because your ability to love fully is not your flaw. It is your superpower. Heartbreak isn't a punishment. It's not the universe trying to teach you a harsh lesson. It's simply a moment, a chapter in the long, rich book of who you are. And while it hurts, it can also be the gateway to something new. Not the same love, not the same story, but a new connection, one that begins with you. And forgiveness is the bridge. What forgiveness actually heals. Forgiveness, such a simple word, but such a complex experience. Some people think forgiveness means forgetting. Others think it means pretending like the pain didn't matter. But real forgiveness is neither. Real forgiveness isn't erasure. It's transformation. It's not about letting someone off the hook. It's about unhooking yourself from the pain they left behind. It's about taking the thorn out of your own skin, even if they never apologize for placing it there. It's about freeing your nervous system from a loop that keeps replaying pain like a broken record. Forgiveness heals your mind. The mind clings to unfinished stories. It loops through what ifs and I should have known betters. Forgiveness tells the brain, this story no longer controls me. I'm rewriting the ending now. It calms the overthinking. It softens the inner critic. It allows the voice inside your head to shift from punisher to protector. Forgiveness is a form of inner repair. It says, I'm not going to hurt myself for someone else's choices anymore. Forgiveness heals your body. Heartache isn't metaphorical, it's physical. Your chest tightens, your breathing changes, your immune system lowers, that tension you carry in your shoulders, that heaviness in your stomach, it's not random, it's stored emotion. Forgiveness is a signal to your body that the danger has passed, that you can breathe again, that it's safe to relax, to sleep, to soften. Healing begins in the body. So even if your mind doesn't get there yet, just the intention to forgive begins to shift things at a cellular level. Forgiveness heals your soul. Do you ever feel like something spiritual broke when they hurt you? Like part of you dimmed? Even if no one else noticed, that's real. And forgiveness doesn't just heal the surface. It returns you to your wholeness. Not the old you, but a wiser, softer, more sacred version of you. It's like letting a quiet light come back into the room. Not blinding, not overwhelming, but warm, gentle, kind. A light that whispers, you've made it through, and you're still beautiful. Let's pause and breathe. Let's try something together now. If you're in a quiet space, place your hand on your chest, right over your heart. Feel its rhythm. Inhale deeply through your nose, and slowly exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale, exhale. As you breathe, imagine that your heart is wrapped in soft light. Imagine that every heartbeat is sending healing to the places that still ache. And whisper to yourself, I am safe to begin again. I release the need to carry this any longer. I choose to be free. Forgiveness isn't passive. It's not weakness. It's a deeply active, sacred choice that says, I will not let this wound shape the rest of my life. I am allowed to reclaim joy. I deserve to feel light again. And even if you're not ready to forgive completely, even if there's still pain, still anger, still resentment, your willingness to want peace is enough for today. Let that be your starting point. The rest will follow, one breath at a time. Have you ever noticed how a scar doesn't disappear? No matter how much time passes, no matter how much healing happens, the mark remains, but it doesn't hurt anymore. It becomes part of your story. Not a symbol of what broke you, but a reminder of what you survived. That's what emotional healing looks like. It doesn't erase the memory. It doesn't deny the experience. It transforms it into wisdom, into tenderness, into the quiet strength that can hold space for others. Because you've walked through the fire and made it out alive. There's something sacred about heartbreak. It softens you. Not right away. Not when it's fresh. At first, pain hardens. It makes you protect yourself. You build walls. You guard. You isolate. But in time, if you let yourself truly feel it, something shifts. You stop needing to win. You stop needing revenge. And instead, you begin to understand. Not excuse. Not condone. Just understand how wounded people wound others. How some people were never given the tools to love properly, and how, sometimes, it was never really about you. You were just standing in the crossfire of someone else's unhealed trauma. That understanding, that is compassion. And compassion, my love, is not weakness. It's the strongest form of love there is. Because it's love that exists even in the face of pain. And when that compassion turns inward, when you begin to offer it to yourself, that's when the real healing begins. When your scars begin to speak, maybe one day, you'll meet someone going through what you went through. They'll sit across from you with tired eyes and a quiet voice, and they'll ask, "How did you get through it?" And you'll smile. Not because it wasn't hard, but because you know now, that pain was your teacher. That ache rewrote your boundaries. That heartbreak taught you what love isn't. And from that, you became someone softer. Not broken, not bitter, but wise. Scarred, but sacred. There was once a woman who loved a man so deeply that she forgot how to love herself. She gave him everything, her laughter, her secrets, her dreams, and when he left, it felt like she had nothing, nothing but silence, nothing but questions. For months, she cried quietly in the shower, smiled in public, collapsed on the floor at night when no one was watching. And one day, she woke up, and she was still alive, her breath still rising, her heart still beating, and in that moment, she realized, he didn't take everything. There were still parts of her that were hers, and those parts she began to water. A little at a time, with affirmations, with prayer, with music, with quiet mornings and long walks, she began again, and what grew from her brokenness was something softer than before, something stronger, something more true. You're allowed to outgrow the wound. You don't have to carry the pain forever. You're not betraying your past if you choose joy now. You're not dismissing the hurt if you decide to smile again. You're not weak for crying, and you're not weak for laughing again either. You are becoming. Let that be enough. Forgiveness is the first step, but wisdom is the result. You may not be the same person you were before the pain, but maybe that's not a loss. Maybe that's the gift. You are not who they left behind. You are who you chose to become afterward. You've made it to the end of this journey, and maybe something inside you feels a little different, a little softer, a little lighter. Forgiveness doesn't always happen in one moment. It's more like a sunrise, slow, gentle, almost invisible, until suddenly, there's light where darkness used to be. Maybe you still feel the ache. That's okay. Healing isn't about forgetting, it's about remembering, with peace instead of pain. And today, you chose peace. You chose to understand. You chose to soften, even when life tried to harden you. And that, my love, is the most powerful thing you can do. You are not broken. You are becoming more whole, more wise, more tender. And from that tenderness, new love will bloom. Real love, gentle love, love that begins with you. If your heart ever forgets, come back here, come back to your breath, come back to this moment. I'll be here, whispering to you, you are healing, you are worthy, you are enough. With love, Sila.